I call the meeting to order. It's 5:31 PM. We do have a forum. And I'll ask Will Anderson of the Lighthouse Church if he'll lead us in a prayer and pledge.
Father, we thank you today for the wonderful city of Breckenridge, for all the wonderful people of Breckenridge. God, we thank you for all of us today that have gathered together to make decisions for our great city. And I ask today, Lord, that you would just help us with your wisdom, God, that you would inhabit us with your praise today, and God, that your presence will be here with us, God. And Lord, help us to, most importantly, help us to glorify your name with every decision and with every moment today in today's meeting. Lord, we thank you for your presence today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate it.
Devon.
We'll go to our open forum and I'll check with our city secretary.
Yes, I do have, I have 3 people on it. First up, we have Gentry Wimberly. Monica's going to, Monica. She put all of them. Oh, okay, Monica Pierce. Just you can come to the center. We don't have the podium up there right now. We have to move it. You just, over here, just over here, just in the center, if you want to address the, okay.
I am Monica Pierce. I am the lab junior high, and also a member of the Export Booster Club. I'm here about the homecoming parade. We had a great parade, a great turnout. We really worked with all the city, in the police department and the fire department. We're so excited. We had heard rumor that there was going to be a $2,500 parade fee coming next year. We weren't certain if that was true or not, so we're here to represent ourselves. We know we can't have that discussion, but we did want to know kind of what's going on. We didn't want to be caught off guard. And if it's a rumor, we want to just squash it so we can all just move forward.
Well,
Thank you.
Mayor, I can respond with a statement of fact. We can't discuss it because it's not an item on the agenda. But I have heard that rumor. In fact, I thought I had, we had talked about it in our after action item. We are looking at, basically codifying our events for the city. So I think in that, there's this rumor going around that we're gonna start charging. And while that is part of it, because it does cost the city for police, for fire, for public works, all of those things, it's usually overtime. The staff is not going to recommend, and we will be bringing it to you at some point, but the staff is not going to recommend council approved events. And so BISD Homecoming is a long-standing council-approved event. The Chamber Christmas Parade is a long-standing chamber event. So staff is not proposing changing any of those. At some point, we will bring for you guys to consider that. And some of it is just to help you, help everybody recognize and help us plan budget-wise when there are events that do demand staff time, there is an expense. But again, any event that is approved by council would be exempted from that. Right.
Well, on that matter, I got a few phone calls myself about the weeks ago. And they thought the information was coming directly from us. And I said, no, nothing. That's when I told her to give you a call.
Yeah.
You can, so, but that's good.
Well, it came up in our after, which the chief is gonna speak to, our after parade evaluation that we just had. And I thought I dispelled, anytime I've heard it, I dispelled it. I mean, I've heard it, I had a conversation with Commissioner Fernandez on that.
And that rumor, or per se rumor, came up last November at South Elementary's Thanksgiving dinner. Because I approached the chief at that time that the Catholic Church was gonna do Heart Parade that we do every year from Break Engine to the Catholic Church. And at that time, he said, any parade you would have to pull a permit. There was gonna be a cost of $2,500 and it had a safety point. So rumor, not rumor, that's where it came from.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me put this on the agenda for November, so we can actually have a conversation on that, although staff won't be ready to present that event ordinance that we're preparing, but we can start that conversation, and then we can have that full conversation. But I just, again, a statement of fact, that is, the staff is not proposing changing long-standing events and that have been supported by the commission. And there's two that I'm aware of. If you all want to add to that, that's your prerogative, but that's understandable.
Well, I had a couple people in my Sunday school class at church ask me about that. And I said, no, they didn't know where it came from, and I sure didn't know, so I hope it's settled for now.
Well, we'll put it on the agenda so we can actually have a conversation, because right now we're really limited, and then we can have that conversation.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We have any others?
No, that's
All
it.
right. Okay, going to go special presentation, announcements.
All right, well, Mayor, if you want to come up as well, so, we are excited to be able to, present certificates of graduation to those, who have been participating in our Citizens Academy for the last 9 months. This is the first, Citizens Academy that we've had. And I think it's been received very well. I think the people that have been attending have enjoyed it. The purpose of the academy is really to help citizens get a deeper understanding of what local government does. And I have to say, we have several success stories. All of you guys are success stories. But some of the things that have come out of this, Taylor Hardy was an early on participant, and he now works for the city. We have actually Paul Huntington, who is not here tonight, he's commissioner right now. He started, he's not feeling well, but he started in the program, and then he ran for city commission and won, and he's sitting here. So and there's yes, Shannon, I knew there was one other one. I'm looking at the picture. So Shannon Mantooth started with the program, and we had a position come up in dispatch. And, she's at a place where she's been doing several things, business wise, and is now at a place where she wanted to come work for us. And now she's one of our dispatchers. So, that's, you don't have to come work for us. You can sit on a, you can sit on a committee. We've got P and Z and the Board of Adjustments. You were already on the Board of Adjustments, Kevin, serving, but you wanted to learn more about the city. So, I'm really proud of everybody that has attended and spent the time to learn. A lot of good stuff happened. And so right now, I will say we had a request for badges. So.
We're missing more like,
Police code enforcement badge, but this is as close as we could get.
As long as it gets me out of a ticket, then. Wow.
Yeah.
Window sticker, don't.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna give you, so we're gonna call your name, forward, the mayor will present the badge and the certificate. We'll get pictures of each one, and then we're gonna ask you to go stand over there until we call everybody up. And then we want everybody to come back here so we can get a full group picture. Okay, Jessica Cigaroa, come on down. Thank you. Here you go, I'll let you hold that. All right, thank you. Oh,
I'm in their way or.
and if you can just hang out over here to the side, Rachel Ford. Come on down. I should say, you got to put your badge on, but no, we won't do that. Taylor Hardy.
Especially where your badge is.
Oh, I will, every day.
Paul Huntington, unfortunately, he's not feeling well. Kevin Cutnet. Kathy Leonard.
You should look right here.
Too slow.
Carla.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's watching, Carla is watching, I did see her,
Yeah,
she's
she's-
watching live.
Oh, well, Carla, here you go, and here's your bag. Shannon Mantoo. Desiree Powell. John Powell. There you go. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Ken Taylor.
It gets that bad. Very concerned.
You want that bad?
Heck, yeah.
Stephanie Walker. And Jay Walker. Johnson.
Your other badge.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need a little bit more training to get that police badge. Okay, so if we could have all of you guys, the taller ones back here, if you could come here and, kind of maybe go sideways so we can fit everybody. Mayor, stay up here, please. And actually, if we could get the department heads, because remember, the department heads were instrumental in this. They each presented on their department. Come on in the center. Move down a little bit.
Yes, Brent.
There we go. That's what it's like here. Spent 9 months together. Department heads, if you presented, yeah, that's down here, Jessica.
I'm sure, I want me to take a picture?
No, no, I was. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just, you know,
Sorry.
You got it.
it's just too wide.
We'll do one up there. Maybe not.
Okay. I can't see. Jay, there she is, okay. Okay, if I look right here. And on 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3. All right.
All right, congratulations, you guys. Not to take any more time, is there any, one or two people that just want to give a 30-second blurb on what it meant to you? Ken?
Not bad.
Well,
That's all that matters to him.
it was certainly getting to see how the city operated in the different departments. Getting a chance to really see behind the scenes, like especially with the physical plan or whatever, all the works. for
Yeah.
Everything that was there, all the new equipment, all the progress we're making, so that was pretty enlightening.
Thank you, appreciate it. Well, I'm so, we got a lot of good comments from you all on how we can make it better. and this was the first one, so, we are going to incorporate those, and so some of it was, increasing like the wastewater treatment plant, the water treatment, some of those areas. You guys, toured the Top Shop. So we want to bring some of those other areas into tour more hands-on active. So we're taking your comments and gonna, yes, if you want to say a word, please.
I'm just gonna stand up and repeat part of what Kenny said, but it felt like it was the tip of the iceberg. You know, there's so much that the city does, and there's so many mechanisms that they got for the things they do. The county local agreements that they have, it's very complicated. And I think the city's doing a great job of pulling it off. Yeah, we all know there's things that we need more work on. But that comes with money, and there's not buckets out there just giving away. So it was a great peek behind the curtain, but I'd love to see more.
Great, thank you, appreciate it. All right, well, I'm excited you all attended and, Ray, it was been.
Thanks, Stephanie. Thanks, Jen.
I'll make mention right about this. Kenny and I go back a long way. Long time ago, everything was.
I've heard the
good,
stories.
everything turned out fine. If he ever wanted to share a story with him, he can, but he had a little experience when he was a teenager. On my end of it, if, I get some thought within the next year or so, kind of come to an end with my law enforcement. And if I do, I'll have 57 years I've been certified by DPS. So if y'all hurry, you catch up with me on that. But that's yet to come. All right, we'll go to the staff reports. We'll turn it over to the city manager.
Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is the employee of the month, and I would like to call Daryl Smith, down to the podium and Grant Thurman as well. You wanna stand front and center? And then Ray, you can stand on the other side. We're presented to the. Okay, so we just want to present you, this certificate and, gift certificate. You are an exemplary employee. Daryl he's obviously very dependable. He has a combined 32 years of experience in the city. So he's worked a couple of different times, and he's worked in collections and distribution, the meter department, and now he's at the wastewater treatment plant. And Grant, is a supervisor, so I'd like you to say a few words as well.
So Daryl shows up every day with a can-do attitude. He's very dependable. We work pretty well together. He's a self-starter. Doesn't have to require a lot of supervision. It's just us. But I mean, he does a lot of stuff that he's a go-getter, and he'll do anything you ask, and starts it on, does a lot of it on its own. He's always willing to learn. With the plant, there's several things that we know being out there for the last 7 years. But there's always stuff to learn too, just for different conditions and stuff in the plant. He exhibits all the Brett core values, and that's why we're here, and I'm happy to say that he's for the most of us.
We didn't open up for. Here. Way to go, Daryl. I'll say this about Daryl, long before I become mayor. And when I was running around that black and white, I ended up as kind of heading up the Frontier Days several years in a row. And it was great to have Daryl, great to have all the people we can get, but Daryl, you didn't have to tell him what to do. He knew what to do when the time comes. So congratulations, Daryl. Appreciate it.
So the next, I did want to give you guys an update. If I can find my piece of paper. On it was back, I believe it was in March, you authorized us applying for a grant for body cams. And we did receive that grant. It's basically a 75-25% match. And so right now, we didn't get as much as we had originally asked. We originally asked for like 137, but we got 66,000. So roughly, that's an approximation, it's 65 something. So the grant amount will be about 50,000 and our part will be about 16,000. And what that includes is 11 body cams from Axon, which really is a top of the line, latest technology body cams. That'll be 11 body cams, one for each officer. It has 2 charging and download stations. It includes insurance for damaged equipment. And unlimited storage. So it is a 1-year grant, so we will be applying again in 2 years to maintain this grant if we can. So happy to report that. And then Chief, if you want to come up and give an after report on the homecoming parade.
You need maps.
Sure. Put it up in our reference there. All right, so this is the after action report. This is the second year that I've been involved in homecoming. We did an event at the beginning of Christmas. So this is the third parade that we've done using the safety plan. So in this safety plan, what we did was we set forward a route that is consistent so that way we can continue to emulate it. So that everybody has the same opportunity, and also gives us an idea of what our fixed cost is to the city. And so that's what it came down to. The after action brief, what we ultimately came back to was there's a couple things. One of the things that was a change was instead of lining up on Miller, we moved over 2 blocks to Live Oak. Live Oak's a flatter street, and it doesn't have the hill that Miller had. Also, another benefit that we didn't realize until we saw it. The first 2 years, the parade, about 80% of the people were on those first 2 blocks that are there leading up to those last 2 blocks before they take the left turn. This year, we had almost 4 blocks of participants watching the parade. So the moving it back helped us a lot because now we've had the ability to grow based on the parade because a lot of people aren't wanting to line up on that second turn back there, but that's certainly there for growth as well too. So that's one of the things we talked about. I think one of the biggest issues that we had was there was an issue about the 18-wheel trucks, and they were stacked. Ultimately, we planned to have the stacking all the way down Live Oak, and we came to find out that the trucks were not able to make one of the turns up there by the school. So one of the things we talked about was the ability in the past, the year before, they used Miller. And so one of the things we talked about, although I don't think we came to a consensus, but we talked about perhaps looking at bringing the trucks closer down towards Live Oak and Walker so that way that it'll be easier for them to stack up like they did in the year past. So that was one of the things we talked about. We also talked about the drop off that happened at the corner. That actually really slowed down the parade and we ended up holding up on Walker a lot longer. So this year we kept the parade turning and we didn't have drop offs and unloads right there. And I think that gave us a better plan too. Like I said, everything went great. Our timing was perfect. Like I said, the plan stayed close to the plan. Like I said, just some lineup issues. And then, like I said, I think we're always dealing with how we're staggering out the parade because we want to make sure we don't have large breaks within it. And I think the people pushed them out and did a great job. And I think we did as much as we could on keeping it down. And then when it was time for breakout, we didn't have the traffic inside that we had last year because of the drop off, there was a lot of traffic with parents and stuff that was inside the cold zone that we were holding up. So with that, we greatly eliminated the amount of cars. So it was a much safer plan because people were, the majority of places where people were picking up at the school. We did have a little bit more of a congestion at the end of it there in home court, but like I said, we talked about it and ultimately I think there's going to be, efforts made to try to address some of those issues as we get ready for the next year. But those are the highlights I had. I'd certainly pass off if y'all were in the event, if y'all had anything you wanted to add, please feel free.
No, other than always, here for constructive criticism and ideas on how to make it better if you have some. Or if you wanna do it, step up.
Y'all did, and I just say, this, y'all did an awesome job. I was just really impressed. I mean, you know, it's fun because as you get to inherit the job that comes back. And this is one of the things that's great about us putting together a plan. The safety plan not only makes it a safer plan for us as far as so we know who's playing and where we're at. The other thing is it helps a lot because should I not be here, you not be here, anything else, we have a plan to fall back on, so it's consistent. So, you know, like I said, this was the third year that we made some minor adjustments. I anticipate we'll have a little bit of adjustments for next year, but other than that, like I said, I think the plan's really coming into that point, so.
Well, and I'm sorry,
Yes,
just one second. For the last couple of years, we've been meeting before and then after. And so that way we have that communication. If there are issues, I mean, we're just all on the same page, and I think that's worked well.
Or you make a comment, there's somewhat tongue in cheek, but maybe we should not stage the motorcycles behind the horses, because there was a lot of zigging and zagging.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horses go up front and you might be able to speak to it better than I can, but I know that traditionally we always have the horses because the pacing issues with the horses
Yes.
are a lot
but,
different. And they also look cool.
It is, you have to have your animals away from your loud noises and everything like that, and varsity cheer rides motorcycles, and they always come last right before varsity football players, so you have to have your animals just for safety, and so you don't have a horse slip and fall.
Right.
So you have to dodge the horse.
Absolutely. And in fact, that was one of the things, the amazing the way that they brought them in at the beginning of the parade. And then the homecoming court circled back around and was able to load back on at the time. And like I said, it was a longer parade. It was, you know, I think we had 65 entries, 67.
I think I was just over 60.
Yeah, so I mean, the numbers look good and that spread it out. And I think, you know, the pacing was good enough that I think we made a good event on top of everything else. So, but like I said, the great thing is it gives us plan and room for growth, not just for the event, for the people that are there, but also for the safety. And I think that, you know, it gives us also enough room where we can figure out how better to stack up our people at the beginning. But like I said, once we got things going, everybody pulled out in the time. So I mean, everything just worked out like a champ. Although I wasn't sitting there, so if anybody wanted to make any comment about sitting there as a participant watching, if there's anything, I cannot speak to that. Outstanding.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. And I know most of you don't realize, but so much work goes into a parade like that. Chief and his people have done a great job last 2 years with it. All right, we'll move on to 3 upcoming events. We'll go back to city manager.
I'm gonna let, Jessica cover these things.
As always, bulk pickup is the third Thursday of the month. That falls on the 16th, so this Thursday. Residents are always encouraged to sign up for that, either online or by calling City Hall by the Friday before the pickup. That's 3 large items that can be picked up free of charge, and it's just part of the services that the city offers, along with brush pickup that I'm not sure everybody is aware, but brush pickup or brush drop off. That at the convenience station, they can also drop brush for free, so that's available there as well. So on the 28th, Family Fun Fest is our 3rd annual. It'll be on as an agenda item coming up for y'all to be able to see everything that's planned, but I did want y'all to be aware of the date. That's coming up. On the 28th also is National First Responders Day, so we want to take the time to appreciate our first responders of the city. And hopefully residents will take a part in that as well. On the 31st is Halloween, and it's also Walker Street Trick or Treat. So I know the chamber puts a lot of work into that every year, so encourage kids to come out and do some safe trick or treating, along with there's a lot of other events throughout the city, but there are a lot of events planned this year, I do know, for the kiddos in the city, so. November the 3rd through the 7th is Municipal Court Week. That's also an agenda on your consent agenda. It's just, we want to recognize, it's a week where we just recognize and appreciate our municipal clerk, municipal court clerk, and our JP, and for the work that they do, so.
We'll go to Alan Ford and we'll turn it back over to our chief.
Thank you. Shannon, mention, if you come up, please. always a privilege to brag about my people, because, like I said, we're hiring some great people, and, we were very fortunate, because, Shannon actually fell into our lap because she was a, part of the Citizens Academy. It was really neat because, when I was looking for, people, we were saying, well, we're gonna be posted. And, she continued to, how about now? Are y'all posting now, or are you doing this? And so it was really great. When she interviewed, she was an exceptional talent. We knew it right away. And so hiring her in as a trainee and knowing that we were gonna be bringing in our full-time people. So, Shannon, just completed the communications, certification course. Now, as you may remember years ago when, T-Cole had us go through these academies. Well, in 2017, they decided that dispatchers should go through a training as well too. So this is what they have to do. They can't just come in and we just put them on the desk, say, hey, start answering calls. So she has to go and get certified. Shannon, going through the state 2-week, 80-hour class, ended up, upon the completion of her test, had the highest grade of her class with an 89, which, like I said, was just incredible. Shannon did not have the experience of having extensive amount of work with not just the city or the police department. So being handicapped with the ability that she is coming in with a fresh face, her training has just been exceptional. She's going to be a great product of the community. And like I said, her love to serve the community is why she's here. And so we're very fortunate. I'm happy to announce that she is now a certified dispatcher and she is our full-time place. And I certainly give you any opportunity if you'd like to say anything.
I'm very thankful for the opportunity for, being a part of the Breckenridge Police Department and serving, our community in Stevens County and in Breckenridge. And I'm very honored as well to be a part of the, Breckenridge Police Department and dispatch. And I will do my very best to represent Breckenridge and Stevens County going here forward. And I thank y'all so much.
A lot of people may not realize this in policing and dispatching is that people like her are our lifeline, literally a lifeline to us. And we appreciate you and all the rest of you that you do for us. All right, we'll go down to the consent agenda. We'll get our commissioners to look at 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we'll take a motion on that, please.
I move to approve consent agenda items 5 through 8 as presented.
I second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. None opposed. Thank you, fellas. All right, we'll go to our public hearing. We'll open the public hearing at 6:03 p.m. Item 9, public hearing regarding a specific use permit at 1300 West Jeanette to allow the placement of a tiny house.
There are no speakers for that item, Mayor.
Item 10, public hearing regarding a request to replat the property located at 120 West Elm, currently legally described as original addition, block 4, block southwest 4 and northwest 4 into 2 lots.
There are no speakers for that item.
Okay. Public hearing regarding a request to replat the property located at 300 East Walker, currently legally described as original addition, block 12, block 2, 3, 4, 5 into 2 lots.
And there are no speakers for that item, Mayor.
All right. We will close the public hearing at 6:05 p.m. We'll go to our action items. Item 12, discussion, any necessary action regarding a request for a specific use permit at 1300 West Jeanette to allow the placement of a tiny house.
Yes, this gentleman brought in this application and put it before the P and Z. And this is the house he's gonna put on this lot. And he has 2 lots actually, and each one's 8,000 square foot. And it's in the R4, it meets the requirement, and he will setbacks and everything will work out according to our policy. And right there's where it is, and he also owns a lot, well, that's 2 lots, but he can divide that in half, either side and put another one, like, he'd have to replat it.
Right, it's 1 lot right now, but if
Yeah.
you wanted to replat it, you would have to.
Electricity and water is not gonna be a problem.
No, no.
How many square feet is that little thing?
12 by 32, I forgot the math, what was it?
Yeah.
12 by 32, it says right there.
400 square feet.
Yeah, I thought it was
Well, that's a neat looking little house. Commissioner, any questions? Not have a motion, please.
I move to approve P and Z recognition to request for this use permit as presented.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? None opposed, thank you. Discussion and necessary action regarding the request to replat the property located at 120 West Elm, currently legally described as original addition block 4 lots southwest 4 and northwest 4th into 2 lots.
So Mayor, this is, the property where the fire station is. And so, as we've had, discussions, what we are proposing is to replat that and, separate that building, essentially to provide us options. We have to preserve the parking lot where the temporary fire station is located in that north parking lot, and then the bays are located. But there is an opportunity if the commissioners, so choose that we would do a sealed bid for the fire department and see if there's any interest for private investors to reinvest in that property and do something with that property and bring it back on the tax roll. So even if you guys don't decide to do that, it still gives us flexibility on making sure that we've got the parking lot preserved.
And you can't see it by that line there, but the way the surveyor did it, he put the line in the middle between our old fire bay and the old fire station, and it would be a shared walkway. You can't see it by that, but that's how he surveyed it.
That line is on that walkway.
Yes.
Any questions?
I move to approve P and D recommendation to replat the property located at 120 West Elm as presented.
Motion second, all in favor? None opposed, thank you. Discussion, any necessary action regarding ordinance 2025-18 on the closure of alley 300 East Wall.
So this is a couple of actions tonight on this piece of property. We do have an alley there, and you've got the survey in your packet. But that building is actually in that alley. So because we do want to replat it again to allow some options, what we need to do first is go ahead and close that alley on that property. And so that's what this action is here.
Just out of curiosity, that's Marjack right there. How were they able to do what they did?
Yeah, it's like a 4-foot drop off there,
Yeah.
but I guess they just, back then when they built it, they may have had the process, I really don't know.
No, I mean,
Well, there, unfortunately.
there was no need for an alley there anyways, but yeah.
Right, it's because it is a 4-foot drop off.
Yeah.
And again, there were things that were done in the past and maybe the ordinances were different or, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
I'm good.
But I will tell you, there's a lot of alleyways that are, they're public, rights of way essentially, but there's even in those, there's a lot of encroachments in a lot of those alleys throughout the city, just FYI.
I move to approve ordinance 2025-18 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor? Item 15, discussion, any necessary action on request to replat property located at 300 East Walker, currently legally described as an original addition, block 12, lot 2, 3, 4, 5 into 2 lots.
So again, just taking this property, when we're talking about potential locations for the future fire station, this would be one of those. We are going to be bringing a proposal to you guys for consideration. One of the other properties we were looking at bringing options to you all, but that option fell through. So right now, this would be the top one, but that's another conversation. But what we're doing is just preparing that for that eventuality. I will tell you, I don't know, I know there's been conversation about the Y for a long time. There is a deed restriction, our attorneys are looking at it. If it were ever not used for, it was basically given to us with the, deed restriction of use for public use. So I don't know that that is one that we are gonna be able to do a sealed bid on or not. We have our attorney looking into that, but in any event, this prepares us to be able to potentially use the rest of that property for a future fire station.
And you can't really tell it, but we don't have the new fire station design yet, but there will be a drive between the old YMCA and the new fire station. That will be left wide enough to drive through. And there'll be public parking lot back behind the YMCA.
It's bigger than you think when you go out on site and then you see, you know, the potential layout that we're looking at. It would accommodate it well, but yes, it would be a, excuse me, drive.
So parking in between the Y and Marjack?
No, it's gonna be parking behind the Y and
Gotcha.
that left side of that L.
There may be some limited parking for the fire station, although, you know, there's not a lot of public people that go to the
No.
fire station.
Yeah.
But there might be some limited between the fire station and Walker.
Move to approve P and D requisition to reflect the property located on 300 East Walker as presented.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. Item 16, discussion, any necessary action on approving the Stevens County Appraisal District fiscal year 2025, 2026 budget.
So you've got, the budget in front of you. Will couldn't be here tonight. He had another, obligation. But you have the budget in front of you and we do this every year for their budget. He was here, earlier and talked about it a little bit, when he did his annual report back in March. But this is their actual budget.
Any questions about it?
I move to approve Stevens County Appraisal District fiscal year 2025-2026 budget as submitted.
Motion and a second, all in favor? I'm sorry, okay, all in favor? Aye. None opposed, thank you. Item 17, discussion, any necessary action regarding the Chamber of Commerce annual report.
So we've got Malin here tonight and she's going to present the annual budget for the chamber, including the hot fund report.
It's there.
Perfect, so when you're ready, I have it. All right, thank y'all so much for having me tonight. We, as the chamber, have the pleasure of being able to take over the hot funds and we distribute those accordingly. So hotel occupancy taxes are collected from overnight stays and lodging establishments. They are restricted by state law and do have very specific uses these funds can be used for. Funds must directly enhance and promote visitors to Breckenridge. How the chamber uses these hot funds. We use these hot funds, mostly for events that are going to bring tourism. These are going to be things like Frontier Days, Mingle Jingle, the Family Fun Fest that we have coming up, and any events that we do all together that are going to bring in tourism to Breckenridge. We do it for visitor support, maintaining visitor resources and our website and social media, so that when people are searching for Breckenridge, they are able to see what we have to offer. Materials and advertising, again, things like going into Texas travel centers so that they know that they can come to Breckenridge and hear the things to do. We partner with the city and different organizations here in Breckenridge to be able to distribute these hot funds accordingly. Impact on tourism. Increased visitor attendance at community events. We have a boost to local businesses and hotels through event-driven stays. And again, hotel occupancy taxes, you're always thinking heads and beds, and that is what those funds are. Enhanced visibility of Breckenridge across the region and more returning visitors year over year. Looking ahead, we want to continue to leverage these hot funds, especially for tourism, and we want to do that responsibly and effectively. We do partner with Texas Hotel Lodging Association lawyers. So if there's ever any questions or not sure that we can use those funds on that, we just give them a call and they tell us yes or no. And as always, thank you so much for entrusting us as the chamber to distribute these funds effectively, and knowing that we are doing so in the right manner. And I believe, do they have the budget? The entire budget that I sent over as well?
Well,
Okay.
actual revenue side.
Yeah, oh, is that the next one?
That's-
Okay. Any questions on any of that?
Very good job at that.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Move to approve the Chamber of Commerce annual report as presented.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. None opposed. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Item 18, consider approval of renewal of contract with Chamber of Commerce for hot funds.
So this is the item, basically, one of the requirements, of this contract is for them to present an annual report. You just heard the annual report, but this is the contract for us to actually partner with the chamber for them to, we give them the funds and then they, spend those funds for tourism. So this is the contract for that. And we've done this for several years, probably the last 5 or more, actually.
Any questions on motion?
I move to approve the Chamber of Commerce Hot Funds contract as presented and authorize the city manager to execute the document.
I second.
Excuse me. Motion is second, all in favor? Aye, none opposed. Thank you, gentlemen. Go to item 19, discussion, any necessary action regarding family fun festival.
So this is actually the 3rd year of this Family Fun Festival, and this is a cooperative event actually between the city, the chamber, and the county. And every year it has actually gotten bigger, so I think people are really enjoying it. We've had a lot of inquiries about the event. It has a lot of different things. We have trunk or treat, we've got costume contest, we've got a pumpkin decorating contest. This year, we're excited to add a little hayride for the kids. It's gonna be a very limited route. They're gonna start on Elm, go to Cord, go north, come back through. We've got approval from McClymonds to come back through McClymonds property south back down. So it's a little small route, but I think the kids will really enjoy the hayride. We do close off, we've got food vendors there, food truck vendors that will be there. The streets that will be closed off will be rows between Walker and Elm there. And then Court will be closed from Elm to Dyer. And then we don't have it on there, but we'll Dyer from just that one block between Court and Rose. Just to protect the hayride there. We pretty much keep everything right on Rose and Elm, and then on the courthouse lawn. And yeah, it's just gotten bigger every year, so it's a great event.
We have a cakewalk this year too.
Oh, a cakewalk, yeah.
They did get
Yeah,
destination purchase.
okay, oh, great, great.
Okay.
Any questions? Motion?
So it will be, I mean, it was on the thing, but October 28th, which is a Tuesday, and the committee basically just agreed to always keep it on the 28th. The first year it was on Halloween, but we kind of had some feedback that it conflicted with some of the school events that were going on and neighborhood events. And then also the Walker trick or treat, we thought it would enhance that, but we didn't want to conflict with anything else.
This East Elementary still doing their, but they're doing it over there with, in conjunction with.
They're doing it on their school property on
Halloween.
On Halloween.
That was one of the things.
That was one of the feedback we got.
The last Tuesday now, every October.
Yeah.
I move to approve the 2025 Family Fun Fest as presented.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Item 20, discussion, any necessary action regarding approval of an interlocal for fire services for Stevens County.
So as you know, it probably feels like didn't we just do this, but we spent a lot of time about a year and 2 years ago meeting together and hammering out all of these things. It took a little bit of back and forth initially, so we're redoing all of them just because we're at that time again. Really, nothing's changed. I think the only change on this, and it was the initial change a year and a half ago, was the addition after the meeting that we all had, the workshop that we all had, was an additional up to 25,000 for the county to pay for half of the overtime for the firefighters. And that's really the only change from years previous. But it's not a change from last year.
Questions or motion?
I move to approve the updated interlocal agreement for fire services with Stevens County as presented and authorize the city manager to execute the documents.
I second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, none opposed, thank you. Item 21, discussion, any necessary action regarding approval of renewing the interlocal for animal control services with Stevens County.
So again, pretty much the same story. We kind of went, this was actually a new one. And so we kind of went back and forth, but, there's no change from last year's interlocal for the animal control. It's just time to renew it already.
Move to approve the updated interlocking agreement for animal control services with Stevens County as presented and authorize the city manager to execute the documents.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Item, excuse me, item 22, discussion, any necessary action regarding approval of an interlocal for shared use of the Stevens County Law Enforcement Center building.
So this is the LEC Center, and again, no change from last year. The only change from last year to the years prior, we reduced the amount of beds that are available for city prisoners.
I move to approve the updated law enforcement center building interlocal with Stevens County as presented and authorize the city manager to execute the documents.
I second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. None opposed. Item 23, discussion, any necessary action regarding award of construction bid for TWDB, CWSRF Water Treatment Plant Improvement Phase 1.
Okay, so as you know, we've been, a lot of these TWD projects that I've reported on for the last several months, actually were supposed to be under construction, towards the end of last year, the beginning of this year. TWDB has been just a review, that it's a back and forth review with them, so it slows it down. But this is, remember, we've got water treatment plant improvements, wastewater treatment plant improvements, water line improvements, and that has already moved forward, as you remember. And then sewer line improvements. This is for wastewater treatment plant improvements, phase 1. And this is, we got 6 bids. You see them in your packet. You can see the engineer letter as well. Staff did review the bids and graded them. Engineer reviewed those, and Purcell Contracting was ranked as the highest ranking qualified proposer at an amount of $696,150. The project itself, we have about $3.15 million available. So phase 2 will include other improvements for the wastewater treatment plant. And sewer lines as well. So, but tonight is phase 1, and the staff and engineers are recommending that Purcell Contracting is the highest ranking, basically the lowest bid. Lowest best bid.
Of that 696,000, all of that is just grant money, or is it a matching grant or anything?
No, that's a matching grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
50-50?
No, and I should have put that in there. I don't remember. I talked about that, and I don't have the committee memory, but it's quite a bit that is the grants and then loan forgiveness. and then low interest rate. Do you remember? Well, the total was $7 million for all.
7:30.
70-30%. Okay, so 70-30%. Thank you.
Had a lot of different ones later, so I'm trying to.
I move to award the construction for the city of Breckenridge wastewater treatment plant improvements phase 1 to Purcell Contracting and authorize the city manager to execute the documents.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye. Item 24, discussion, any necessary action regarding resolution 2025-29. Directing publication of notice of intention to issue $1,720,000 in combination tax surplus revenue certificates of obligation to provide funds for water system improvements and resolve some other matters relating to the subject.
So this is the new, okay, we got a lot of grants, which is a good thing. But this is the new one that basically was a total of $5.7 million that we were awarded. This is a 70-30 grant, so they're paying 70%, we're paying 30%. That 30% is that 1.7 million. And so what this is the first step where we go out and advertise that a notice of intention to have certificates of obligation for this money.
Move to approve resolution 2025-29 as presented.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And did you put the map on there?
That one, it is on ours.
It's on their packet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that map is on the website, so that shows, you know, just to keep in mind of what, that these are water lines, additional water lines, basically $5.7 million worth of additional water lines. And I believe it's orange on your map.
Item 25, discussion, any necessary action regarding resolution 2025-28 to accept steering committee recommendation to deny Encore's rate increase.
So as you know, we're a part of the steering committee coalition, and essentially they advocate on behalf of a coalition of cities. And so Encore wanted to raise the rates, and we basically it was recommended that we put a hold on that while additional information was being gathered. And now the time has come to say, okay, we basically don't support that increase. And so it's a vote of the steering committee for all these coalition cities that we're gonna put in that vote, and then we'll see, you know, how the PUC comes down on that.
I move to approve resolution 2025-28 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor? None opposed, thank you. Executive session, convening to executive session at 6:29 p.m. Pursuant to Texas Government Code anointed Chapter 551, Subchapter D, Texas Open Meeting Act, the Act. City Commission will recess into executive session closed meeting to discuss the following. Item 26, this item will be moved up to November 4th, 2025 Commission meeting. Personnel matters 551.074, personal matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear a complaint or charge against an officer or employee. 27, be a city manager review. In order, it's 5:31 p.m. We do have a forum, and I'll ask Will Anderson of the Lighthouse Church if he'll lead us in a prayer and play.
Father, we thank you today for the wonderful city of Breckenridge, for all the wonderful people of Breckenridge. God, we thank you for all of us today that have gathered together to make decisions for our great city. And I ask today, Lord, that you would just help us with your wisdom, God, that you would inhabit us with your praise today, and God, that your presence will be here with us, God. And Lord,